Hello, my name is Matthew Wager, and this is my story, um, as best I recall it, about my incident with the Pfizer biotech and vaccine. So I got the vaccine in, I believe, 2021. It was pretty late. It was already FDA approved, and I had a argument with my boss, and they made me go get it. I was like, fine, whatever. How bad could it be? um, I went to a Walgreens, my local pharmacy, and I got the vaccine, and I felt something go straight to my brain. It felt like a cold shock. It felt like a shock almost, going from here to here across my head. And my first words were, it must be the placebo effect. That's not possible, right? My current theory for that is the propylene glycol um, gelatinized and was infused with air bubbles, which made it go to the highest point of the body, which would make it just pure negligence. Just like basic, particulate gets in it, fucking gelatinizes around that. Just like stupid fucking bullshit. Anyways, 20 minutes later, I walk outside. I'm walking to my car. I parked pretty far away. I parked in the back parking lot, and I smell Tide. Like Tide. Like somebody took an entire bottle of Tide and just dumped it down my nose, like impossibly strong. And it was actually kind of pleasant. And then I just started watching shit glitch around me, and my legs got really heavy, and then I walked like another 10-20 feet, and then it happened again, and I got in my car, and I just sat there for a while, and I walked home, and I felt fine. And what I'm assuming happened there was that's what happens when propylene glycol gets to your brain and starts sinking in. Fun. Anyways, I got home. I actually drove. No, I didn't drive to work. I took an Uber to work the next day because somebody told me it might be seizures. My actual boss told me it might be seizures. So I had no idea what it was. And then I went to the gym that night, and was it that night? And I went to go do squats, and on my warm up set, I started falling backwards, and like I guess my brain turned back on, and I went like from all the way to, like falling backwards, and I just instantly righted myself, like, and I pretty much pulled a muscle in my back on my warm up set, which was interesting. And I thought that was like really weird because it was only 135 pounds. And then I went home, went to work the next day. I went to work the next day, and still not sure what's going on. And I think like 2 days afterwards, I went to the gym again, but this time I was on my one wheel. And there's this cute little dog that always barks at me. I'm like, oh, look at the cute guard dog. And today it like barked and lunged at me, and my brain just turned off, and I like, tink, and I rolled, and I scraped up my arm. Didn't hit my head, but I scraped up like my arm and everything else. Yeah. and I still wasn't sure what was going on. And then the next day I went to work, and I was at work, and I was assembling like one of these industrial desks, and I dropped it. Well, I knew I was having seizures. I actually called my psychiatrist, and she gave me some medication for seizures. And I started aching it. But the next day I went to work, and I was assembling this desk, and I dropped it, and it made a loud noise, and I just fell to the floor and started spazzing out. and my coworkers took me to the emergency room. Which honestly was probably not a good idea. Let me tell you. Well, I guess I did get in there pretty fast, considering that we were in a pandemic. I guess it was an isolated part of the hospital. And, I start spazzing out. They do a CT scan. Start spazzing out more. Start spazzing out even more. And then they fucking sedate me. And they fucking tranquilize me and knock me out. And I remember waking up, and I was in a room where I had two nurses who were actually very friendly. I remember it stopped when they gave me like a mega dose of some benzo injectable. I don't even know which one it was. Yeah, and then I had to study, and I had, I don't know how many seizures. My seizures were in response to loud noises. I have two triggers that I know of, loud noises and rapid changes in temperature. Figure that one out. I can't. But they pretty much told me I wasn't having seizures, that I was having psychogenic seizures. Like, yeah, I just suddenly started getting fucking psychogenic seizures right after the vaccine. Go fuck yourselves. But right after I got out of the hospital, I started having people following me. And I know they're following me because I would wake up at 4 a.m. And, oh, look, the same fucking Cadillac SUV is both at my job and at my house. Duh. Fucking retarded fucking private eyes. You should definitely fire them. They're going to get shot at some point in their lifetime. So I actually dug a trench from my house out to my street, and I installed cameras on my street just to do counter surveillance. And I was still having seizures, like no matter how many fucking doses of benzos I had, I was still seizing. Until I went on anticonvulsants, and that pretty much stopped it right away. And I guess normally this is where the story ends. Of course, the anticonvulsants ruin your liver over your lifetime and you die. Yeah, and then they started to try to kill me. I mean, I guess it's them. It's definitely not my ex-girlfriends. They don't have this much money. I'm not sure who else would try to kill me. Anyways, I can count 4, maybe 5 assassination attempts. Probable, definite assassination attempts. Like, they're good at this shit. Like, they're professionals. They do not want to get caught. It first started with a attempted kidnapping, where they tried to grab me. I think, yeah, they tried to grab me first. as far as I can remember. I'm not sure if they tried anything else. This is just what I know, because it's pretty obvious to me, at least. They tried to grab me in front of cops, like literally in front of cops. The cops didn't seem interested. And now this is where it gets crazy. I went into okay, no one's ever gonna believe me about this, but I'm just gonna say it. I went in to get my flu vac. Well, I went in to get my checkup, and I got the flu vaccine. I didn't want to get the flu vaccine because, you know, I might have some sort of allergic immune reaction to it that would give me more seizures. I didn't get seizures. Got something much worse. Oh, first it starts with confusion. Pretty much drops your IQ by 100 points, to the point where you want to play with guns and do stupid things. Like blow holes in your walls with shotguns. And almost blow off your face by accident. And, I don't know. And then it chokes you by closing off your esophagus. So, whatever that is. Definitely not a normal reaction to the flu vaccine. It choked me for minutes. Long minutes. Like maybe 5 to 10. Like, holy shit. I remember blacking out because that's how long it choked me. And I was pretty fit at the time. I mean, I was running, I was doing long distance underwater swimming. I had this pole and I would swim back and forth underwater. And yeah. And after that, what happened after that? I think after that was the spider. Okay, so I plan to pick up my meds from the pharmacy. You know, I go to the app, plan to pick it up. It's like it'll be ready at this time. Go to pick it up, have to wait a little bit. Pick them up, go directly to my gym, just like I always do at that time every day. Guess what's in my path while I'm riding my one wheel? A funnel web spider. That lands right on my fucking shoulder, right here. Like, literally right here on my shoulder. Like, perfectly executed funnel web spider placement. While I'm riding a one wheel. And I have never screamed louder in my life. But I'm screaming. I brush it off right away before it bit me. I'm not sure how I did that. It was holy shit. I somehow didn't fall. I remember taking my shirt off, and there was this car waiting down this dead end street. It was a CTS. And it looked like it was lower than normal. So it might have been an armored CTS or just a lowered CTS. And then they just drove away. And I was like, didn't really think of it too much. I mean, I did, but it was one of those things where I try not to. But then it's just like, after I found out that it was a funnel web spider, I didn't know what kind of fucking spider it was. It's like, the deadliest spider in the world, right in my path. Duh. What else? I'm not sure if I'm missing anything, honestly. I've probably had more fucking assassination attempts than Fidel Castro at this point. um, three. Oh, I was leaving a club. I used my credit card to get into a club. We walk out of the club. Someone's like, "Hey, it's the guy with the hat." It's like, "You looking for this guy?" I'm looking for this guy with his hat on backwards. And then me and my friend are there with our fucking cowboy hats on. He proceeds to pull a revolver out on my friend. Now, I'm not too sure about this one because it might have just been a crackhead. But the fact that he was looking for a guy with a hat and we were both wearing hats, a little bit weird. And of course, you aren't armed because they search you when you go into the club. So they get you when you go out of the club because, you know, you can't be armed. And more so recently, I got rammed in a parking lot by a car that used to be black, but is now white, has 8 previous owners, and got ditched on someone. Fuck. Anyways, what I think they were trying to do there. And I really hate to say this, but I think they were trying to get a pre-planned visit to the emergency room where you have an IV installed and anybody could just walk in there in fucking scrubs and put something into your IV, or, you know, just swap anything out. You know, hospital badges aren't that hard to fake. There's about 50 nurses on call. Anyways. Anything that could kill you 2 days later and make it look like a natural cause should be considered a super weapon. You could literally hold. Yeah. Oh, by the way, that thing about when I was choking and coughing and whatnot, I did 2 COVID tests, and they were both negative, so it definitely wasn't COVID. Did it twice. But, you know. Fortunately, the only people who are going to believe this are of the more eccentric variety. And I'll probably be dead before anything comes of it.